What happens when two McLaren drivers dominate the grid? Max Verstappen is forced into defense, and Miami turns into a Formula One showdown under the South Florida sun. Buckle up, this wasn't just a race. It was a warning shot to the rest of the F1 world. The 2025 Miami Grand Prix wasn't just another date on the F1 calendar, it was the race where McLaren made a thunderous statement. On a weekend filled with tension, precision strategy, and jaw-dropping overtakes, we witnessed Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris deliver a 1-2 punch that stunned Red Bull, Ferrari, and everyone watching. In this video, we're breaking down the extended highlights of the race, lap by lap, move by move. From Norris's shocking drop at the start to Piastri's perfectly timed pit stop and a mid-race twist that almost changed everything. You don't want to miss a second of this. The tension was already high before the first light went out. Friday's practice sessions were all over the place. Red Bull topped FP1, but McLaren bounced back in FP2. Then came qualifying, where Oscar Piastri stunned the grid by putting his McLaren on the pole. It wasn't a fluke, it wasn't weather affected, it was pure pace, and that pole position was just the beginning. As the grid lined up, the buzz was unmistakable. Kimi Antonelli, the Mercedes rookie phenom, had shocked many by qualifying second. Verstappen, starting third, was unusually quiet on the radio. Lando Norris, right behind in fourth, was more vocal, confident in the team's race setup, hinting that McLaren had something special in the tank. And then, lights out. The roar from the crowd almost drowned out the engines. Piastri launched well, but Antonelli got an even better start, forcing Oscar to cover aggressively into turn one. Verstappen dove to the inside, nearly clipping Antonelli's rear, and Lando, pinched on the outside, was forced wide and lost 2 positions, falling to 6th. It wasn't the dream start for the Brit, but for Piastri it was just enough. He held the lead through the first complex, and from that moment forward began building the foundation of a perfect race. Behind him, Verstappen muscled his way past Antonelli by lap 3. It was hard, clean racing, the kind Verstappen thrives in. But what no one expected was how quickly McLaren began to manage the pace. By lap 7, Piastri had already opened a 1.8-second gap, and Verstappen, normally comfortable following closely, was struggling with early tire degradation. Meanwhile, Lando Norris was putting on a clinic. Having fallen behind Leclerc and George Russell, he reclaimed 1 position by lap 6 and made a daring move on Russell in lap 9 at the chicane, with barely an inch to spare. The McLaren was alive, nimble, glued to the track. Norris looked angry, determined. By lap 12, he was back into third and hunting down Verstappen. This is where the battle truly began. The first strategic calls started filtering in around lap 15. Red Bull was discussing an early undercut for Verstappen, pit early, get into clean air, and force McLaren to react. But McLaren didn't bite. They instructed Piastri to extend the stint, trusting in their medium tire longevity. It was a gamble. And then, as if on cue, Verstappen locked up heading into turn 17 on lap 16. He saved it, but flat-spotted his right front, a tiny mistake, but one that cost him half a second. Just enough for McLaren to exhale. Lap 18, Norris was within DRS of Verstappen. He looked poised to attack but held back. Whether it was patience or team strategy, he played it smart, perhaps waiting for the race to come to him. And then came the first unexpected twist. On lap 21, Nico Hülkenberg's Haas shut down at turn 14, a brief yellow flag. By lap 22, the stewards triggered a virtual safety car. And this was McLaren's moment. Without missing a beat, the call came. Double stack both cars. Piastri dove into the pit lane, Norris right behind. Tires changed with precision and not a single second was wasted. They emerged in front of Verstappen, who had pitted 3 laps earlier under green. It was a strategic masterclass. In just a few minutes, McLaren had taken a competitive fight and turned it into a positional advantage. The restart came on lap 24, and Piastri immediately pulled out a 2-second buffer. Norris, now in clean air, focused on closing the gap. Red Bull scrambled, but the damage was done. Verstappen had lost track of position and, perhaps more importantly, momentum. From laps 25 to 40, the race became a masterclass in control. Piastri managed the pace perfectly, neither pushing too hard nor letting Norris get too close. Norris, in turn, started chipping away 10th by 10th. In lap 37, the gap dropped below 2 seconds. Lap 40, it hit 1.3. Lap 43, Norris activated DRS for the first time on the main straight. It looked like we were heading toward a teammate showdown. Piastri wasn't being told to hold the position. The team radios were quiet, eerily quiet. the kind of silence that says, "Settle this on track." But dirty air and tire wear played their part. Norris could get close, but not close enough. Every time he entered the DRS range, Piastri responded. A few tenths faster through Sector 2, a better exit out of Turn 16. The Australian didn't blink. He didn't overdefend. He just drove a perfect final stint. Meanwhile, behind them, Verstappen was trying everything to hold off Sainz and Leclerc. His race engineer radioed in lap 49. "You are P3, but we need damage limitation." Those are not words you hear at Red Bull often. By lap 52, it was clear McLaren had done it. The only question left, which one of their drivers would win? Lap 54, 2 laps to go. Norris mounted one final push, closing within 1.1 seconds. He threw everything into it, clean lines, aggressive apexes, late braking, but the tires just weren't there. On the final lap, the gap widened slightly. The battle fizzled, not because of lack of effort, but because of sheer excellence from Piastri. The checkered flag dropped, and for the first time since Monza 2023, McLaren crossed the line 1-2. Piastri led, Norris followed. Verstappen finished a frustrated third. As Piastri pulled into Parc Fermé, there wasn't a wild celebration. There wasn't a scream over the radio, just a simple, satisfied, "Yes, boys, that's how we do it."
Get the attention you deserve with a custom neon sign. We offer handmade neon signs. Our process is simple. Visit our website, glonio.com, and click Custom Neon Builder for an on-demand experience. Start typing your custom text, choose a font, color, and size. We will handle the rest by handcrafting your LED neon. We also produce high-quality neons to match your business logo by completing the form on our Business Neons page.
This wasn't just a win. This was the execution of a long, painful rebuild that had started years earlier. McLaren had come close before, Norris with his heartbreaking loss in Sochi 2021. Podiums here and there, but never quite there. Now, they were here. Norris climbed out of the car smiling, but you could tell it was bittersweet. He'd had the pace, the car, maybe even the better final stint. But Piastri's defense, or rather his refusal to be put under pressure, had sealed the day. On the podium, the anthem echoed and the champagne sprayed into the sky. Piastri stood proud, quiet, measured. This was no fluke, and he knew it. Verstappen, by contrast, walked away from the podium with barely a word. In the post-race interviews, he admitted, "We didn't have it today, their car was better. Their strategy was perfect. It's frustrating." But it wasn't just frustrating, it was eye-opening. In the days that followed, headlines around the world echoed the same message. McLaren is back, and this time, they're not here to collect podiums. They're here to win championships. The constructors' standings now show McLaren just 18 points behind Red Bull. In the drivers' title fight, Piastri sits second, 12 points off Verstappen. Lando Norris is third, not far behind. And with races in Imola, Monaco, and Canada coming up, the narrative has completely shifted. This isn't a Verstappen walkover, it's a war. And for McLaren, for their engineers, strategists, and 2 supremely talented drivers, this victory in Miami might just be the moment the balance of power tipped. So what happens next? Does Piastri seize the momentum and mount a genuine title challenge? Will Norris find redemption and take his first win of the season? Or will Red Bull regroup and strike back? Only one thing is certain, Formula One in 2025 is finally wide open. And Miami was the spark. If you've made it this far, you're clearly as addicted to the drama of F1 as we are, so let us know in the comments. Who do you think will take the championship? Will Piastri hold his nerve? Will Norris take command? Or is Verstappen just biding his time? Hit the like button if you enjoyed this extended breakdown. Subscribe for more deep dives and race day drama, and turn on notifications because this season, the storylines are just getting started. I'd see you at Imola.